Hello everyone and welcome to another house building in the Sims 3. Actually not an house building video, a community lot building video. And if you read the title, you know that I'm doing a daycare, and this was again a request. I have a couple of them to do and I'm a little bit late on doing them, but yeah, this was a request and it's very similar to my coffee shop. If you saw that video, at least the style, it's more modern and it's actually very modern. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, and it's a 2-storage daycare, and I set the lot as a community lot. Now I'm gonna be honest, I never played with daycares in the game, so I'm not sure how they work. I think the Sims take the kids to the house of the sitter, so I'm not sure how daycare in a community lot would work, but the request wasn't a house with a daycare, was just a daycare, so I did it on a community lot, like the daycare that came with Aurora Skies. I think it's also in a community lot, so I did something like that. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but if you guys like this and you want to use it, I'm sure you can find a way of using it. Probably you can, because this has 2 storage, you can make a house in the first and the daycare in the second. But I don't know. I basically did what the request asked me to do, and it was to do just a daycare, so I didn't did any house. I just did a daycare in a community lot, and as you can see, it's fairly modern, and I did use a lot of constrained floor elevation. There's 4 levels and 2 of them are not usable, are just for like decoration for me to play with the walls. It's the middle one and the 4th one. They are just floors that I lower with the constrained floor elevation sheets to make it so I can use like more walls and whatnot and play with the modern style a little bit more. And this is actually not a big daycare. There's I don't know, around 3 rooms. I'm going to explain it better. Basically, I decided to go with the theme for this daycare, and it's actually kind of animals, and there's basically an animal for each room. Like normally in daycares you have a room for each age range, like you don't put the babies and the kids that go to elementary school together. You have different rooms for them normally in the daycare, so that's what I did. And then you have kind of like each room has its own animal. So here it's where the giraffe room is, so all the little giraffes go in there. I don't know, but I thought it was funny. Like there's the frog room, which is actually the bathrooms, and there's also the jungle room, which is the entertainment room, which it's basically for all ages, and it's where the kids play or watch movies. It's basically an entertainment room. And there's also the nursery, which I don't remember right now which animal I did put in there. I don't know if I did put in like an animal near the door to say that it was a specific animal room, which sounds weird, animal room, but you'll see what I mean. But yes, I tried to make different rooms for different purposes. Like I said before, I have the nursery, the entertainment room, and there's one room where is more related to school projects or homework or art projects. And yeah, it's much more for like the elementary kids, I guess. And I actually built this near the school in Eden Springs, but of course you don't need Eden Springs to download this, because I didn't use any content from Eden Springs. I think I just built on this world. But yeah, it's right near the school, which is very very cool, and it actually makes sense to have a daycare near the school. They don't need to drive to get the kids. They can just, come on, let's go here, right next to the next building. And But yeah, you can see it's very modern. I'm going to change the colors of the outside near the ending, so the colors that you're seeing right now are not the ones that are going to stay. It's still gonna be a green, and it's still gonna be that green, but I'm also going to add white, gray, and a more darker green, and I think in the end it's going to look better. Actually, the back of the building, I actually like it more than the front of the building. I'm not sure which screenshot I'm going to use, the front of the building or the back of the building, because I really like how the back of the building turned out. And it looks really like a daycare, and I did a playground outside, and it looks really cool. I think, at least I think it looks really cool. But yeah, a lot of the things that you're watching me do right now, like that little balcony on the left side, that's going to disappear. It's not going to stay like that. At least I don't remember staying like that, or I don't remember putting a balcony there or decorating that balcony. Yeah, it's not going to stay there, that balcony. That's the thing with very modern houses. At least me, I do that a lot. I delete a lot of walls and rebuild them again and delete them, and a little bit more to the left and a little bit more to the right, and adding things and deleting things, and just until you kind of get what you like. And that's what I did in this house. And the actual building took me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just putting the windows now, and I'm going to have to do the layout as well in a minute, I think. But yeah, and there's one bathroom, I think. No, two bathrooms in this daycare. One for like the babies with the little how is it called? The potties? Is it called potties? I'm not sure. Where they pee the babies when they are learning. Yeah, I put a bathroom just for the little babies or the toddlers, I mean. And there's a bathroom downstairs that's for kids and adults, and it has normal size toilets basically. But yeah, I'm just adding some trees and some greenery outside. In the back, I'm going to add a garden, like there's going to be a playground, and I'm going to have a garden around it. Not necessarily a garden, but a lot of greenery, and I'm not going to leave those rocks there. As you saw, I just deleted them because they didn't look well. But yeah, as you can see, I'm fencing the playground because, at least for me, it doesn't make sense to have a playground that is not fenced. We are talking about kids, and you shouldn't be able to have a playground in the daycare where every sim or every adult sim can go in. Like, the kids should be protected. In the real life, I mean, because in the Sims, you don't have kind of like random sims kidnapping children. But in real life, it makes sense to have like the playground fenced, so sims from the street cannot go into the playground. So I did put in a little fence there, even though they could jump the fence, let's be honest. But it's a daycare. It's supposed to be like there's people working there and paying attention to the kids, I guess. But yeah, as you can see, I'm doing the playground, and I think except for the sandbox, everything is from like Generations. And I'm going to switch the sandbox. Right now that sandbox is from the store, but I'm going to delete it, and I'm going to add one that is also from Generations, so it's easier for you guys if you don't have like the content, because I know people at least there's more people with expansions than with store content, so I decided to switch the sandbox. There's a little bit of store content on this, but it's just basically decorations. It's not really on main objects like the swings and the slide in in the playground or the nursery beds or what else? I don't know, the main content that your Sims can actually use. I did avoid to use store content, and the rest is actually from oh, I forgot. It's actually from expansions or the base game, or yeah, or stuff packs as well. I don't have a lot of stuff packs, so yeah. In the oh, I'm going really fast right now. In the upper floor, as you can see, I just switched the sandbox. But like I was saying, in the upper floor, it's going to be the nursery and the toddler's bathroom and the entertainment room, and downstairs is going to be the hallway where you get in, and the room where your Sims actually study and do their homework, and a bathroom for adult and children Sims. So yeah, and right now here I'm doing the hallway, and I tried to did like a bench area and that hallway, and here I'm switching the seats, and those ones are from the store, sorry about that. But I wanted to use the animal ones, sorry. But yeah, here I'm putting some benches from Into the Future, and I'm merging them together so it looks like a space where kids would like sit down and put their bags up or their jackets and maybe took down their shoes or something like that. I don't know, I feel like that's what you would see on a daycare. So yeah, there's the bags hanging, and there's the benches, which for me it makes sense at least. And I'm also adding these decorations on the wall that look more related to nature, and since the theme is kind of animals and jungle, I thought it makes sense. And by the way, these decorations are from the store, but it's kind of like they are free if you have seasons. So if you have seasons, you can download them, and yeah, it's store content, but it's free store content if you do have the expansion pack. So yeah, and I did use a lot of stuff from Generations. I think that it's what I use the most. So if you have Generations, basically you're cool to download this, I guess. And again, I did use a little object from the store again, that flower. But yeah, I also did use some things from university, I think, at least books and like boards, because it made sense to me. But yeah, I'm just placing down objects that I thought that would be cool to use on the daycare. And as you can see, I just added a giraffe near the green door. You can right now you can see it now. There's a giraffe on the door, and that's meant to be like the giraffe door, not giraffe door, the giraffe room. And it's the room where Sims do their homework and their projects and whatnot. And I did choose the giraffe because it's the tallest animal, so it's for the kids from elementary school because they are older and taller than the babies. That's kind of my logic, which probably doesn't make any sense, but that's what I did. And inside each room I tried to use the color scheme of the animal. So here I'm using yellow, orange, and yeah, it's basically that because a giraffe has yellow and orange and brown on it. So that's what I did. And I'm going to add also a lot of books and decorations, like art things, and just to look like things that kids would use to do their homework and to study and to do art projects and whatnot. That's basically the idea behind this room. And yeah, and I'm trying to create the shelf unit with storage, and yeah, and you only need Into the Future and University for that shelf unit, because the shelves are from Into the Future, and like the shelves under the white shelf are from university. Yeah, university life. And here I'm using a flag from university life as well. So basically I did use a lot of stuff from university and generations. I would say that's the main expansions that I did use. And I also did use a lot of Into the Future in the build itself, like the windows and basically the windows, just the windows are from, and the doors as well are from Into the Future. And I'm adding some, how is that called? The thing where they paint, and some more boards for them to do math or stuff like that. But yeah, and I'm not sure. I think this it was a few days ago, because I did this a while ago and I only did this room, and then I come back and did the rest, and this is when I did come back and started doing the rest. Yes, it is. I started to add more greenery outside, and I started doing the bathroom for the grown kids and the adults, and it's going to be the frog room, which doesn't make a lot of sense to have an animal room for the bathroom, but because I did went with a green color scheme, and because there's little frogs on the sinks, I decided to use the little frog outside. It just makes sense to me, and I did put in soap to make it look a little bit more like a public bathroom, but yeah. And I also changed the doors and make the green door into the bathroom and add the little frog there. I don't know if you saw it because it's going really fast. It took me a while to do this, and if I would make the video slower, I would be here a lot of time talking, so I made it a little faster. And yeah, and I use these beans from the store. I really like them. I know there's not a lot of people that have store content, but I do know that that's one of the objects that most people do have from the store. If they have store content, they normally have those bins. So at least I think it's the object that has more downloads, I guess, in the Sims 3 store. So yeah, and I really like those bins. I'm happy that in the Sims 4 they came with a stuff pack, I think, not with store content. So yeah, and I had a lot of greenery outside in that balcony, as you guys can see, and I also did some more playground equipment in that balcony. And here is where I had the darker green, I think. Yeah, it is. I did add the darker green in the front as well, because it was looking, I don't know, a little bit boring to me to have just the light green and the white and gray. So I added a fourth color with a more darker green, and I also did a little bit more of terrain paint, and I'm going to put in more plants in the playground as well because it looks a little bit empty to me. But yeah, I don't know, I really liked how it turned out in the end. I think it's a very peaceful place and very cute place, and parents would be fine leaving their kids here. Yeah, right now this place here, this little room, it's a nursery, and there's a door there that goes to a bathroom for the kids, the little kids, like the toddlers. And as you can see, I didn't use the crepes from the store, even though they are super cute. I didn't use them. I used ones from Into the Future because, again, I was trying to avoid using store content. I did use them in the sinks though, sorry about that, but those sinks are too cute to not use them on a daycare. And I don't know, if I'm not going to use them on a daycare, when am I going to use them? Because in a house they don't make that much sense unless it's a bathroom just for kids, and even then I don't know if I would use them, so I definitely decided to use them in this daycare. And yeah, basically this nursery, I think the theme in general is like birds. because I did put in birds on the walls, and there's a more brown and neutral color scheme. So yeah, I don't remember really, but I think it's like birds, the theme of this room, and I put in a lot of other like toys around the place, which for me makes sense. But yeah, and I went with the neutral color because I wanted a more peaceful color and not strong colors, because it's where kids sleep, and like really strong colors make them more excited. So if you want them to sleep, you should have more neutral colors, I guess. At least for me, it's what I think. And as I said, I did put in the bathroom for the little kids, but yeah, even though they can't reach the sink, but there's no sink in the Sims game that toddlers can reach. So yeah, there's the little toilets for them. And here it's the entertainment room. Thinking right now about the position of the entertainment room, it doesn't make a lot of sense to have the entertainment room next to the nursery, because the kids would be making some noise in that room, and the kids in the nursery could listen and wake up. But I don't know, like the study room, let's be honest, kids don't be that quiet even when they are doing the homework. So if I switch the rooms, I think it wouldn't make a lot of sense. And this one, it's an open area, there's no door to it, so it didn't make sense, at least to me, to have that room, like the study room, to be in an open area. Kids need a little bit of quiet to do their homework as well, so I decided to put it downstairs. And yeah, and kids will be in the playground anyway, so they won't make that much noise to the babies. But yeah, and this room has basically a jungle theme to it. There's a lot of green and animals, and yeah, I actually like this room. It's very like adventure kind of theme, like an adventure in the jungle. And yeah, and I did use the TV from the Generations because the color scheme did fit the room. And yeah, I don't know, I hope you guys like it. I did work hard on this one, and I did put in a lot of detail, at least I tried to put in a lot of detail and a lot of stuff. And again, I did use a toy box from Into the Future, not from the store. I did avoid to use content from the store as much as I could, but I still use a little bit. But yeah, it's over. We are in the screenshots. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you all have an amazing day and an amazing week, and bye!